Welcome to the channel where I actively run out of content faster than a Mexican can cross the border. That joke was delayed. I'm gonna leave that in. Uh, I'm just gonna fuck around with the Minecraft weapons. We have the axe, which in Bedrock Edition is not entirely that good. We don't have the axe crit system, but it's still pretty good. Still pretty good. I'm talking about these right here, which I discovered that it's harder to do on controller than mouse. If you were to lunge and time it correct, both of them can hit at the same exact time and get some crazy upwards momentum. Also, another thing I figured out thanks to seeing the inside of Skip the Tutorials map, I learned that if I were to just line up some TNT on my build and then click a button, kind of just blow everything up here real quick. I made the perfect rage map because as long as this structure block is not removed, I quite literally can just ta-da! Almost like magic. And this one over here just has structure blocks for like the center part. We have empty, which has dirt blocks, so it's not quite empty. We have an arena, which is a shittily made boxing arena. And we have a dirt house. Because dirt house. I'm going to use the arena for this vid. Now this is more of just a you're going to watch me struggle type deal than anything else. Also, by the way, that fucking button right there is very convenient. You're gonna watch me struggle to do anything more than anything else. I would go against like the Warden or the Wither, but I'm not quite good enough for that, so I will get my ass kicked with an Iron Golem. Seems about accurate. If you want to see actual videos posted from this map, hit subscribe. What I mean by actual videos, I mean videos that isn't me just fucking around and finding the hell out. Because I spent time on this. I'm going to spend more time on this later. So, like, next time you see this, it might be completely different than what you see it now. And then I'll do a tutorial. But until then, I just realized I did not have a way to get in. Game mode survival. Eat an apple. Spawn this. Realize that I don't have anything. Oh wait. I have something. Right here. Where is the weather clear? There it is. I think for this, I think having diamond armor would be slightly better. Because knockback resistance makes it harder to get knocked into the air or knocked around. If you want to make this, I will also probably fit a tutorial somewhere in this on how to make it. And for a dungeon map that I'm also making using similar things, I'm still trying to figure out jigsaw blocks, which I don't think even work on Bedrock Edition. Yet. That is, yet. I feel like if you were actually good at the game, that would be really fucking good. Like, if you were actually good at the game, that would be solid. I am just also experimenting here. I'm gonna go to creative, get some golden apples so that, well, I don't waste golden apples. Bedrock Edition, you can't dual wield, even though dual wielding would make the most sense on Bedrock Edition, but you can't. Quirks of this. Bedrock Edition. Oh, wait, I have lunch. The Bug Rock Edition. Although I, for some reason, have never experienced. The only bug I've experienced was like funny ones, like the Ender Dragon looking like it's T-posing in the mid-air. That's like the only one I've actually experienced out of all of them. Aw. I do need to. Although I did see some videos that they were knocked into the air and make that 2 glitches I saw. What the fuck was that? Also, if you have any suggestions what I should build within a very small area to make this map look a bit nicer, comment down below. I might read it. I might not. Who knows? I don't care. Because either way, I love the support whenever there is support. Because when the world is hostile as fuck, it's nice to know that there's nice people out there. Now, yes, I could be all, like, cheesy about all of this stuff. But it is true. Every time a nice comment is said, it confuses the shit out of me because I've been on the internet long enough to understand that that's not how the internet rolls. Yeah, if you were actually good at this game, you could really, really pull some shit off, because I'm not good at this game, and I still hit a combo. And if we had dual wielding, which wouldn't be that fucking difficult, it's literally just attack and attack. That's all I would need to do. Like, I don't need this. Can you dual wield yet? Fucking Bedrock Edition. I know I will not switch because, well, Java Edition is not that much better. Because, well, it's Minecraft. Minecraft does have a habit of being kind of dumb when it comes to literally everything. And before a 5-year-old goes like, oh, Minecraft's my favorite game, I don't think they're going to do that because it doesn't have that Roblox-like effect anymore. And we know how that went. You know what? Yeah, you can really get some combos going easily with this. If you knew what you're doing. And also the fact that you can just get away extremely quickly. Yeah, I might get Java Edition just so that I can do this better. You could say the spirit of me being good at the game is there, but The execution is garbage. Also, I already beat the Ender Dragon this world, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I already beat it. So, you're not going to see me try to 1v1 the Ender Dragon. However, I am going to give myself some developer buffs. Mostly so I don't get instantly mollywopped, which means I won't need armor. And I can combo the fucking, Actually, what the fuck am I doing? Why don't I just use an armor stand? I'm pretty sure you can use that. Yeah. Oh, that can be another little area right over here. Oh, now is a good time as any. First, get a block, button, whatever you want to build your structure out of. Then you need a structure block. You have to make sure that everything can be measured correctly. For example, all of these are pretty much accurate, but because it's up by like 2, so what right about here, it would be in the y-axis down by 2. So you have to have a slight offset, so -10, -50, -21. And then you have to have a unique name for every single one. I just did something stupid. This one will just be test.r. This one will be one of the few that actually include enemies. Size. Wait, what's the size? 16, 64, 19. $16, 64, 19. That is pretty much the size of this small thing right here. Clear the weather. And as long as it doesn't, as long as it's in this part should not matter. Which is why, for the most part, you keep these down. Keep these on until you are ready to save it. And it's all clear, it's all good to save. Because then you can turn these off, click the save button, and they will stay off. For the most part. It's really nice to have. And then you just make sure you have like a little nice structure over here. Mostly just to make it look nice. You don't need the structure. I have bedrock here, mostly for aesthetic, but it does serve a very valuable purpose and giving an area for a button to be placed in case it breaks, because this will regenerate entire chunks by itself. Essentially, this entire area shown right here will regenerate. Essentially. But for the meantime, I need -10, -15, -21, -10, -50, and the z-axis is the important one here, -21. That should be dead smack in the center. That is unnecessarily accurate. But it doesn't, it's not -50. It's up by 2. It's up by 2, so that means you gotta go down by 2 and have an offset of -48, I believe. Yeah, -48. This one you do want to include entities, mostly for the armor stand. And now, this is where this part comes in. Probably the simplest part here. You place this down, you place a button. That simple. And then what you want to do is you want to save this. Then you want to switch to load mode. And then you go over to here, or to where you have this, which has 2. These are both, for some reason, necessary. This loads the entire structure found here, which means I could destroy this entire area and then just click a button and then fixed. This one saves it. The entire structure that this one loads. So they have to be the same. So as long as you have non-asshole friends, or, well, keep them in adventure, which is probably what I'm going to do. You keep them in adventure, or you just ask them not to break it, or just make another world entirely. Now for the fun part. Why does pick a block not work on fucking armor stands? Alright, I have that in my... I'm a dumbass. Also, there should be background noise because my fucking sister is the loudest person on planet Earth. And I don't have very much to my own. And just because I think it might work. Nah. Now I just need to make a structure behind it. I might do a bit of, like, shitty redstone, but mostly for, like, target blocks and other things associated with them. Also, a good thing about Bedrock Edition is that you get, for achievements, since achievements are permanent, you do in fact get, like, little things that you can show your achievements from. And to be honest, I think that's really neat. Although I think it should be like you can have as many achievements as you want. Like every time you get a new world, you can get new achievements. But the first time you get the achievement, you get the stuff associated with the achievement. I think that would be better than, well, you get achievements and then it's pretty much locked in. You can't really get anything else. First, I'm going to see if this works before I start doing overcomplicated redstone. Yep. Very simplistic structure. You don't need too much. Although, if you can't hit this shot, then you should not really even be playing survival, I guess. I guess you can, I guess you can hit some pretty accurate shots. It's not that hard. Next up, as you continuously build something, I'm just going to make it a very simplistic structure. Because it can get blown up, it can get annihilated, it can get destroyed. Now, you make sure you don't save this within that, because that doesn't load entities, because it's the original entire structure. And because I had to put this in peaceful to make sure that I didn't get 4 trillion mobs before I got the thing to kill everything. I'm going to actually make it so that I can set the different modes. From peaceful to normal to hard. Like all sorts of stuff. Then we do this. That should be good for now. We make sure it's clear. Go over here. We're going to take a look around. Slight second. Save. Then switch this to load. And now we cover this up temporarily. Add the detail we want to add to it. Or the expansion of detail. Then we go over here, which we know for a fact is clear. Actually, it's better to also test this by switching it to empty. And then loading it. Which, by the way, does in fact multiple spawn, so you would have to get rid of those yourself. Switch it to empty. Summon the target range. Now that should be good. Yeah. Entities, they don't get removed, which is why I don't include entities over here. And then now, we go over here. We save the structure. We do that. And you would have to save the structure again after we name it, which I didn't name at all. Which is I mean, I also have to redo that because of this fucking weather. Also, when I found this world, I was going to go over here just to fuck around and build one of these. And then I didn't realize that this was a badass world. Like, just over here. Like, I went thousands of blocks that way, and I found so many spots that are good for it. And plus, there was a natural L here. Natural L. Like, I could have not gotten luckier with my spawn. If I could be like, oh, here's a button to press to restart the entire world, I would allow the entire world to get reset. Also, I did an oopsie. You don't want to do these here. What the fuck's my cat doing? How is the cat not in frame? My cat's actively in front of my phone recording this right now, and it's not even in frame. Is she really that fucking small? Damn. You need to be eating more. Can't even say my guy because it's a girl. What the fuck do you call a female cat? You call a female dog a bitch, which is the actual term for them. Google it. It's interesting. In fact, because I know a bunch of the swear words' actual meanings and how they can correlate to each other, swear words do not really have an effect on me. Okay. We're going to name this Testing Range. We're going to name this one Testing Range. We're going to make sure that it's clear up top. Then we're going to make the good mistake of checking this so that when we save this to hard R, it doesn't fuck up. Oh, there's a cave down there. Okay. We're going to save this. So now, when we do this, and then we click Reset Map, it didn't do anything. Hold on. Also, it does, in fact, save command blocks. See? Game mode. Yeah, no, I'm going to add a difficulty tweak to this. And maybe surround this with thicker walls that are waterlogged. Because if you don't know, in Minecraft, if you have stairs and water, you can make blast-proof walls by literally just doing this. Literally just doing this. Then you'd want to go through and make sure everything... It would be kind of tedious to make this entire structure around an entire base. But you can do it. You can also use leaves or anything that could be waterlogged. Although stairs might look better. Then we cut off the water from here. Literally just cut off the water from here. Another quirk is if somebody tries to lava cast your base, it's not going to help against that per se, but however, if somebody does use lava and you have wooden stairs, it reinforces the wall, which apparently, yeah, there it is. It reinforces the wall, and also this is a good way to test stone walls to see where it needs some reinforcements. Yeah, if it's lava, if you place a lava block like right here, the wall will reinforce itself. Not by much, but it would still reinforce itself nonetheless. And now I click this button to empty it. Ta-da! I could have a command block that gives you both the mace and the wooden spear. Also, the reason why it's a wooden spear is because for some reason, this has a faster attack speed than netherite spear. Oh. I forgot I was on bedrock. Wait. The wooden spear's funnier. Now I get a testing dummy. We're gonna say... Ah, shit. If I summon... Also, if you summon a Creaking not within a heart, and then you build a Creaking with a heart, has two different responses to that. For example, you do this simple structure right here. The Creaking that spawns from that will be invincible until this. This will die immediately. I have no strength buff. Which means now we just gotta wait for midnight, but I'm too lazy for that. So I am going to set that to midnight. That should spawn right now. Right now. I think it should spawn right now. Oh. You're in the wrong area. But I can deal with that. Creakings are very good for testing things because they get all the effects while also being able to stay completely still in survival mode. Only issue? You'd have to try to predict where they spawn, and you gotta make sure that they spawn in the right area, like right there. Now, for my safety, I'm gonna block this off completely. Then I am going to go into survival. Now, the Creaking is not a very dangerous mob, which, out of boredom, I'm gonna say, how would everything do? In fact, wanna know how undangerous it is? One full heart. That's it. One full heart. Although it is invincible, which is good. And it will follow you, which is also pretty good. I'm just going to get an edge up. Then I'm just going to... I do find this funny because if you look back, it will in fact continuously chase you. They're pretty fast, actually. Stop. Wait a minute. Put the... I forgot the song, but you probably... Uptown Funk. Okay. Anyways, you've noticed this right here? This literally kills a random player. If you have a bunch of players in survival, let's say you have 10 players in survival, it'll pick a number 1 through 10 and kill a random player. I wish I had something that, Haha, fuck you. I'm only doing this so that I can get, the arena. Oh wait, you're the one that can just die in one hit. Hopefully he spawns in the arena. He spawned way the fuck over there. Why can't we just spawn in a fucking tank creaking type dude? That's a, okay. That's a what the fuck? Oh, my controller just connected. I'm using a wireless controller as a wired controller because batteries are fucking expensive. And you might be like, oh, they're relatively affordable price if you go to this place. No. They aren't really an affordable price. In the long term, they're shit. Like actual shit. But in the short term, they are really nice to have on hand. I'm gonna need food for the thing. Golden apples for no apparent reason. Another good thing about this area is that it's a really good place to learn how to play the game, especially if you have, nice friends that have a map like this. And it's not that hard to build. You just need to learn how to use structure blocks, which aren't that difficult to use. They're literally just, you place it, you save it, you place a button next to it, and then when you press that button, it loads the entire structure. Boom, done. Anyways, from the top rope. This is why I have the scaffolding. You know, I'm gonna go hit that sheep over there. I could have hit that, actually. Also, I'm surprised nobody has tried doing combat against their friends, but not allowed to use shields. Because this can be countered with a dude in a shield, which is kind of annoying, but understandable. That sheep, you're my victim. Also, fun fact, Bedrock Edition Steve is slightly stronger than Java's, but that's basically because of attack speed, strength stats, sharpness stats, and stuff like that being much stronger on this version than on Java Edition. Plus, we have, if anything's in water, including rain, we have the one enchantment that's useless on Java Edition, does increase damage to anything in water. So, yes, clown on Bedrock all you want, but if you were 1v1ing as different Steves, you would definitely fail against the Bedrock Edition Steve. Poke. 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 Just get a wooden. If you have a friend, a world that everybody is in full netherite, just get a wooden spear. It could be your poking stick because it only does like. Hold on a second. That actually only does 1 damage. That's you're punching them is better. Like, legit, hold on. 2 cows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits. Now I am going to have to be up in the air for this. 1, 2, 3. That's 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it is not fist level, but what the fuck? Anyways, I'm going to continue fucking around in this until you get bored and then go click on another video. But if you are going to stay here, consider hitting subscribe. It means practically nothing to me at the moment, but it does help in the future long run. I'm going to leave these in here, so if somebody finds them, they have some pretty OP weaponry. What if I did this? What? Damn, that could have been super cool. Like, having a ladder up to a normal block, or a scaffolding, would definitely make more sense to me. So that I don't accidentally save it, I'm going to click empty. I'm going to destroy these, which are the only thing that survive. Clear my inventory. Not going to click reset map. I'm going to go over here and click save map. But I'm going to do that from up here. Save map, so that there's not a hole there. This area right here is pretty much on. You can't get here unless you're either in creative or know it's there, because after. I don't think I've seen that direction before, actually. That's cool. This is a beautiful seat. Anyways, I will be keeping that there because that's honestly kind of funny. I will be testing more stuff here. Like, I got a couple of mods, well, Bedrock mods, also known as add-ons, that I can test here. I can build structures here and blow them up. In fact, you know what? I'm going to end this video with a bang. Hope you enjoyed. Hit subscribe. It doesn't really do much at the moment, but it does help me in the long run. Anyways, that is all. Goodbye.